Guys, have a lovely meeting. Guys, have a great meeting. We'll see you later on, and we'll be back for the press conference at 6 o'clock tonight, where we're going to announce
Lara Sarwaya is here. Pat Buckley.
Yes.
Remy's here. Alhan.
Alhan, she cannot come because she has a meeting.
Okay, Saeed.
Saeed will be replaced officially by a very nice coach of football. Now he's in the Abu Dhabi Sports Court. His name is Ahmad Saeed. He was supposed to come here, but he's now with a counselor. So that's why he gives his apologies, but he will be replacing Said Shamsi from now on.
Okay.
Because his job is, he's the football coach of Al Jazeera Club, which is Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Club, and for football in Abu Dhabi, and he's a great footballer. So he knows exactly what we are all talking about here.
Great. Okay, I'll go through the countries' names. Argentina, Hector, say yes if you're here. I think I saw him earlier on. Australia, Melissa. Bahrain. Belgium, Marcel. Speak up, just say yes loudly. Okay. Brazil, Rodrigo. Teresa or Julie, Canada. Okay. Wu Mankit from China. Let's see, Peter Kunsen from Denmark. France, we have Marcel, I think is going to be here soon. Kai Sherman from Germany, here. Amy Chan from Hong Kong. Gabriella from Hungary. Yes, okay. Keith Rowe, Ireland is here, I saw him earlier. Enrico from Italy. Kuji Sakamoto from Japan. From Malaysia, who do we have? Is Sulai here, or who's representing Malaysia? Okay, very good. Omar from Morocco.
They are not here still. They did not arrive to to Abu Dhabi. That's why.
Okay.
You have Portugal also. They did not arrive yet.
Okay. How about Oman? Also, okay. Poland. Agnieszka from Poland. Yes. Portugal is not here.
Slovakia also did not arrive.
Anna from Puerto Rico. Yes. Mikala from Slovakia.
Yes, she's arriving today. I think, Sarah, when is she arriving, Mikala? The jockey. Today. Okay. Yeah, that's why she's not here.
Okay. Gary, South Africa. Yes. Kim, South Korea is here. Yeah. Helena, Sweden. Okay. We'll have a new addition today from Russia. Switzerland, but we'll get to that in a second. Tunisia, Noureddin.
Noureddin couldn't have, we have a slight issue with the visas from Tunisia, but we'll sort it today because now His Highness Office is doing it.
Okay. Zeynep from Turkey.
Yes.
Good. Pat Buckley, UAE. I'm here from the U.S. We have Colonel Stephen Paget, who's our new member, is here. Yes, Colonel. Welcome aboard. Grant Harris is here from British Racing School.
Where is Grant?
There he is.
Yeah, he's near you. He doesn't want to talk.
He's riding his livestock.
Yes.
And
Marshall is here. He's coming in 2 minutes.
Okay, so we have...
But we need to also welcome a new member, also is Russia.
Yes.
Russia is a member, and you have the best, one of the jockeys that won also with us in Russia, and he will be competing with the apprentice jockeys in Kazan, Tatarstan. So welcome also.
Welcome. So we have a quorum. We have enough votes to do business today. Thank you all very much for coming this long distance for our meeting today. What I'll do is I'll read off our agenda.
From Australia.
Melissa, but she's not arrived yet.
Maybe they didn't arrive yet to the hotel.
Yeah, I think it was a late
There are
flight.
some delays of flights. That's why some are missing also of connection flights.
But we will make sure that anybody who's on their way will have minutes from the meeting so that.
And this
they're
is
aware.
recorded live on TV. So you're live on web stream, it's going to be filed on TV and you're going to all watch it later. You can go into the file of the General Assembly of IFHRA 2015 and it will be over on the filing of the web stream of Sheikh Mansour Festival.
So the first order of business is approval of our meeting on September 8th. I've emailed those to everybody. I'll hear a motion to approve those minutes. If somebody wants to make a motion, then we would look for a second. Any discussion, and then we can pass that. So, okay, Grant Harris has moved to approve the September 8th Executive Committee meeting minutes. Do I have a second? Keith will second it. Any discussion on those minutes? If not, everybody who agrees with the minutes say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. What we'd like to do now, Lara, if you want to talk a little bit about our
Yes.
conference and all the schedules and everything.
First of all, thank you for coming. And we want to say we are very sorry for losing Sandra for Germany. Kai, you've done a good job. You took care of her. Brazil also, they did not yet arrive. They will arrive today because they were just doing the preparations and taking care also of the papers of Sandra. So it's a sad story for us, being IFHRA responsible of apprentice jockeys, but this can happen anywhere in the world for any jockey. A jockey's life is a risk, and he knows it from the beginning. And at the end, we can say that she was well taken care of. During the 24 hours she was in the hotel, Kai was with her and the Brazilians were with her. She got the best treatments in the hospital. But this is life. God, when He wants us, He will take us. He took Rory from us yesterday. And this is also another sad story. We want to move ahead and think of the positivity. They are our angels in heaven. I want to say also a tribute to Susanna Santenson. She will stay in our hearts because she was with us last year. She was the purpose also of having IFHRA constituted. She's a lovely angel in heaven, taking care of us also, taking care of Sandra and Rory, who are in heaven with all our friends. This is something we need to look at to the front. We really not to be scared of destiny. God, whatever He will write for us is written on our forehead when we were born. So this is not something it's in our hand. Money cannot get life. Money cannot get health. What we can pray for all is to always wish you the best of health, for the jockeys to be safe always before they go to the race. And this is life. We really need to accept God's will. Whatever is written for us will gonna happen and no one can change it. What we can say is thank you, Kai, for taking great care of Sandra. You were holding her hand all the time, as well as Sidinia. I really need to thank her when she comes, Rodrigo and Almir. They've done a great job to be around her, but when God wants her, it's not in our hands anymore. Sheikh Mansour Festival sends the tribute to her parents, and also Rory, it was a sad story to leave us. He was also a great person to support Sheikh Mansour Festival. I know Rory since long time. Once we started all what we were doing regarding the apprentice jockeys and Sheikh Fatma bint Mubarak Conference for Training and Education. This conference is for you. This conference is for all jockeys, not even the apprentice jockeys, because they need to learn every day. Professionals need to learn every day. Amateurs need to learn every day. So this is something that has not been done just for us to do a conference. This conference is yours. This conference is for all countries. We really need to be proud of what we are doing, because we are proud that we are, how many countries if you look at them? So many countries now are joining. This is because we believe in the esteem of the base of what we are doing. If you believe in your heart, you go wherever you want. But if you do not believe in your heart, you go nowhere. So this is very important for all of us to know that our heart is our love to our jockeys and to our esteem and to our goal. There's a goal behind what we're doing. This is why we are all here, set today to talk about or do the points that we really started it with, is the exchange of passport. Thanks to Guy, who also started it also last year and the previous years. This is so important for you guys. This is where the press is also very keen to know what is happening in this General Assembly, in every meeting. Today when the following, we had all the higher people of the government that are present with us. This is something very important to see, that we have the Emirates Arabian Horse Society General Manager was here. And of course, we had Sheikh Hamdan from Invest AG, Sultan Al-Oda from National Feed, the main partners of Sheikh Mansour Festival, as well as the chairman of IFHRA that was here too. This is something very important, because this is, if they were here because they trust us, they were here because they want to support you. This is very important. It's a mission that we really need to look in the front. Just don't take one obstacle and say stop on it. Life has to continue. We really need to accept whatever God has given us. And thank you.
Thank you, Lara, and Kai, again, on behalf of everybody here, you have our sympathies, and it's a very difficult time, and but we move forward. We move forward in a positive way.
Yes.
The next thing we're going to talk about on a somewhat lighter note is a wonderful opportunity that we've developed for some of our young riders, our students. This is something that's been very near to my heart, and I know all of us here. It's the Racing Scholarship Fund. And again, thanks to Lara and the Sheikh Mansour Festival who are funding this in this first year. For those of you who are new to our board, they've very generously underwritten an exchange program for students from our schools to go to another country to experience learning, and not just for riders, but for students who want to become trainers or bloodstock agents who want to work in racetrack management and things like that. So we're very proud to announce for the board's consideration and approval a list of final recommendations. Our committee was made up of our executive committee of the board and of our education committee. Some of you may have a large spreadsheet that Gay put together for us. It's a wonderful, it is a bit small to read, but it's good. It's good practice for my bad eyes, but it's good. And so on the spreadsheet, you'll see the names of all the applicants from each country. And what we asked each country to do was to submit one or no more than 3 possible nominees for a slot in our racing scholarship fund. Then what we did is we asked the countries to self-select, to do the second round of selections, to pick one candidate from each country so that we would have one per country. And so what we have now, I'll read off, are the names of those final nominees from each country. We have 11 this year. We would like to have this grow to become very, very big, but we feel that it's important the first year to keep it a small manageable number so that we can go through that first year and match up a host country with a student who's going to be going there, to make sure that the experiences are first class, that the students get a great benefit. The mentorships will last 8 weeks, 2 months minimum. And what we will do is, if the board approves this list, then between this week and January 1st, we will then work as racing schools together to set up the mentorships. By setting up, it means, like, for example, if one student wants to come to the U.S. and I have a spot for that student, then we figure out a time of year, we figure out who the mentor will be, and then we do the funding through that. And we've gone through the process for funding. So that would mean the airfare will be covered, room and board, if needed, will be covered. This will be a paid scholarship for that student. Okay, so that being said, let me read off the names of the students per country, and we have 11 altogether and 2 reserves. So from Australia, we've selected Reagan Bayliss, born March 13th, 1997, and is seeking to be continue their training as a rider. Okay, from Canada, Ashley Edwards. And please correct me if I've got the name wrong and all that, but we have Ashley Edwards from Canada, who will also be mentoring as a rider. From Hungary, Barbara Sentes, is that the right pronunciation? Sentes. I also will be mentoring as a rider. From Ireland, Ryan McKeever. And he's interested, I believe, in regulatory racing official studies. From Korea, Sung-Yi Ko is interested in developing his career into becoming a trainer and in horse care. So it's not just riders, it's for people who want to develop their careers after riding too. From Poland, Kamik Jabalski, thank you. Who wants to study more riding. From Puerto Rico, we have Nicole Didier. Okay. And she also is looking for more experience as a rider. Sweden, we have Eva Tilderqvist, who's actually studying in Ireland, I believe, also a rider. From Turkey, Vadetin Kaplan, a rider. From my country, we've selected Aaron West, who is a young man who wants to study bloodstock and breeding and work on a breeding farm. He just finished working actually at the Keeneland sale, so he's very much into the breeding end of the business. From the United Kingdom, Tom Marquand, who will be a rider. And then reserves, in the order of the voting and the selections, Ryan Colley from the Northern Racing College, who wants to become a racing official and hopefully a starter someday. And from Korea, Sihi Kim, who wants to study training and horse care. Those are, and then the third reserve we have is from Hungary, again, Istvan Kozma, who is interested in riding, but more so training and horse care now. So those are selections for this first year. We'll have copies for the media here I can send out or email if you'd like. So I would entertain a motion at this time for the board to approve this list. And we need a second. We can have some discussion, and then we'll have a vote. And like I said, if this is approved for this first year, between now and January, then we'll work as racing school to racing school to help set up the mentorships. So for example, if I've got an American who wants to go to Australia, then I would work with Melissa on setting up that internship. And likewise, if you have somebody coming to America, you work with me, and we arrange the mentorships that way. So do I have a motion to approve this final list? Okay, Gay is moving to approve the list.
I need to say something.
Okay.
The members only can vote, not the full members.
Okay.
Only the executive board members can vote. This is something that really needs to be taken care of by the executive board members. Because now you've done all your job, you've given us what is needed. I think we need to go out as executive committee board and decide and then come back and we'll give you the solution. Okay, Keith? Let's go. 2 minutes. We go?
We
We go outside.
Oh,
We talk.
as executive committee?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
This is how we need to
All right. Okay, well then let me read off the executive committee members. Lara, Pat Buckley, myself, Meli-
Ahmad Said.
Ahmad Said.
Instead of, he's coming, but
Okay.
anyway, no problem.
all right.
I can do
We have then
Alhan.
Alhan.
Yes,
Melissa is not here. Keith Rowe.
yes,
Didier is not
Grant.
here, but Martial. Grant. Gary Waterston.
yes.
And Martial. So if you can,
Okay, can we
join
go
us.
outside? Turkey also, Zainab.
So we'll take a 5-minute break.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay, Don, you can sit. Come. Come here.
Okay.
Come sit near the here. No. You can sit. She can sit near you.
Meeting will come back to order. Sorry, it was a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but we got things done. So the executive committee's recommendation to the board for a vote or for approval is the original 11 countries that I listed before, the final nominees from each of those countries. So again, it would be Australia, Reagan Bayless, Canada, Ashley Edwards, Hungary, Barbara Sentis, Ireland, Ryan McKeever, Korea, Sungyi Ko, Poland, Kamik Jabowski, Nicole Didier from Puerto Rico, Eva Thilderquist from Sweden, Vadetin Kaplan from Turkey, Aaron West, United States, Tom Marcon from United Kingdom, and after deliberation, Lara has agreed to make one extension on the reserve to nominate Ryan Colley from the Northern Racing College to be added to the list. I want to preface this by saying that our concept here is to grow, to make this bigger, to get more countries, more involvement. But by having a smaller group, we can concentrate and focus on each student, making sure the mentorship goes as well as it possibly can so that we can grow, and because this is a learning process for us as racing schools as well. So that's our final recommendation, so that would be 12. I would entertain a motion to approve the executive committee's recommendation, and does somebody want to make that motion? Lara moves to approve that list. Do I have a second? Yes, okay. Colonel Stephen will second it. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's been approved.
Ronnie, just for clarification, does that mean that Kim C. Hay becomes Reserve 1 and Istan?
Yes, good point. In the case that one of the selected riders drops out or can't participate in the mentorship, then Sihi Kim would be the first alternate, and then Isvan Kozma would be the next alternate.
He's from Wuhan, from China. Mm-hmm. Philip, can you call the gentleman? Leo, you're from China, no? And Wuhan. You need to sit on your chair. Sorry? Okay, but he can represent Wuhan, no? Near you? Sorry? Can he sit on his chair? You can sit near him. You don't represent China, but he can represent Wuhan. Yes? Or no? Okay, cool. Both of you can sit, put a chair, and very welcome to Slovakia. Bravo, she arrived. Muhammad Yahya, who did not come today to the meeting because he's a member of the whole thing, he arrived. You know, you have to have something, clap for him. He's now manager of the best television, general manager of the best TV of Majid. It's a very beautiful TV for kids that he's the general manager now of this. Bravo, Muhammad Yahya.
So we're moving on to the next item for discussion. As Lara mentioned at the outset here, we've had a very tough 2 weeks. One of the things that we wanted to generally discuss is, number one...
Mr. Wuhan, can you come and sit near Leo? Come, sit near Leo. You are Wuhan, yes. You have the right more than Leo to sit on the chair. Give him, please, a chair. Yes, near Leo. because Leo cannot represent China, but sorry, can you let me know what is your name? Dominique. Dominique is Wuhan.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We're going to discuss the formation of a committee, what we would call a safety committee. And so we're going to discuss this a little bit right now. What this committee would be responsible with doing would be to make sure to assist our chaperone Kai and all our members that when we have a schedule of racetracks, that moving forward we know more about each racetrack, each host track, as far as what their protocols and what their safety procedures are. All our racetracks are top notch, but it always helps us to understand that a little bit better as racing school representatives. So that being said, I'd open it up for some discussion. I know that a few members had some questions or things they might like to suggest. I know, Grant, you had a few things you wanted.
Does that work? Yeah. I just, again, sorry we are. I think and I think we all felt very bad about it, and our feelings for Kai were equally strong. I think this gives us an opportunity, and Remy has put down as the next point that to have the formation of a new committee, a safety committee. I think really as a group who are sending young people around the world, that we just need to know in our minds that we are doing everything possible to ensure their safety. And I think that is beholden upon us. Yes, they are generally adults, they are over 18, and they can make their own decisions, but they go under the umbrella of the school that chooses them to go. And I think we have a duty of care that we do everything possible to ensure that wherever they race around the world, that we in our minds are clear that there is a criteria established, and that each race course that wants to hold a race that we send apprentices to meets that criteria.
Yes.
How we set that criteria is another matter. Obviously, it's very easy to be smug sitting here, being from the UK and from Europe, where we have the highest possible standards. But I just think that we do need to have some very basic standards and criteria put in place, so that we in our own minds are absolutely sure that we are mitigating every possible chance that there is another accident.
Okay, I'm with you, Grant, but there is also one point we need to know, that Sheikh Mansour Festival always put races in the best racetracks in the world. So this is not something that we choose the best tracks to run on. And they have lots of safety procedures. They run the big races for Sheikh Zayed Cup, which is the Prestige Cup, and for the ladies and professionals and amateurs. You know, we choose good tracks because we will not put a race that we will take any 1% chance to have any, the racetrack is not fit for our race, because it's our reputation at the end of the day. What happened in Brazil, it's not something, it's fate. She didn't die in the racetrack, she died afterwards. She was released from hospital, and she was okay to go to the hotel. She was, then she was going to have a shower, and after the shower she collapsed directly. This happens to, it's God who wants her, but what everybody did was the very normal procedures that happened. What happened in France, we will meet all of you, two beautiful jockeys that are paralyzed. It happens in the best places in the world. There is Dawood Aka. He is a great jockey that used to run every time. And there's another girl also. They are on wheelchairs. Why don't you think of this part, that it can happen anywhere in France also, or anywhere in the world? This is a chance that the jockey knows what he's doing. It's a jockey that knows that there's a risk. There's a win, but there's also a risk. It's a horse.
And I think if I could chime in, I don't think anybody's laying any blame, and we're riding at a lot of the best racetracks. I think what we all would like to do is just have more information. We're not saying things are safe or unsafe, but if people in my country want to say, where is our rider going to ride? I say our rider's riding in Poland at this beautiful racetrack, and here's where the racetrack is located, and here's a website that lists all the details of the track. If we have a pool of information, is all we're saying, that we can refer to, I think it would help for us that want to know more about where the riders are going. When I rode, I rode at some small racetracks that I think back now, I said I must have been crazy when I was that age, but you can't change competitiveness. Riders want to compete. They go to a track, they wait a week to ride one horse, they've traveled thousands of miles, they're going to be very competitive. And that's the essence of our sport. But at the same time, we can have more information, I think, as a committee, just so if I want to know more about a particular track, or somebody wants to know about my track, we can go.
Google it. They can go into the website of every racetrack. They have a green light whether to wish to send their student or not.
Sure. Well,
because that's the case. When you are a jockey, you have to know you have a risk. Any jockey professional, Di Tori fell down and they took him by airplane to go and get treated. And he broke his leg, or I don't know what happened to him, and he's one of the best jockeys. So it can happen to any jockey in the world. You will meet, all of you, 2 invitees. We really wanted them to come because they're great jockeys in France that now are a young lady paralyzed completely. She cannot walk. So, you see, it happens anywhere.
There's no doubt that there's an assumption of risk. All we're talking about is the formation of a small group just to manage that information, so we all can go to that committee and say, give me some more details about the track where we're going to, and since we're a board and we can form ad hoc committees. This might be something to consider.
Okay, I would like to have Kai's opinion on this.
Hello. Let me explain everything. I think when we look for a rider, because I sent also a rider to Brazil, you look for a good rider. My rider have 50 races. She was win 6 races. She can be traveled to any racetrack. And the horses I have seen in Brazil was very good horses. And the race also was a very fair race. That she fell down, it's an accident. Nobody can do nothing for that. But when we go to the hospital, everything was good. The doctor, I have 2 doctors. One doctor was making the pictures, the röntgen of her, say she have broken 4 ribs. The other doctor looks for the organs. They say nothing happened on the organs, she can go back home. I asked 2 times if it's possible to go back home. It is nice if she be at home. They say yes, we can do nothing here anymore. So then she go back home. I take care for her all the night. I was working by the ambulance 5 years, so I know what I have to do. She was not alone. I don't let her alone. And I will not do this. I will do it for all the apprentices that travel with me. What's happened in the end, it was very, very bad, and of course, for me, it was the most bad. But when she doesn't breathe anymore, and the ambulance I called the ambulance before, and the doctor was looking for her, and then everything got very quick. She doesn't breathe, she go to the ambulance, she go to the hospital, and in the hospital she die. So if the doctor say she can go home, I can do nothing, or nobody can do nothing. And now we have to wait exactly what they say. But this we will know in maybe 30 days. I have here, last night I get an email that she will travel back home today. So she will arrive tomorrow in Germany. and the parents will bring her again for the hospital to see what's happened exactly.
Kai, do you think it'd be worthwhile for this group to have a committee just to oversee and have that information about, or do you think that would be just, you know, would it be productive?
Yeah.
For us to do that?
And if the family want, we know, I can tell you, but in the moment...
No, he's not asking about this.
As far
he's
as...
asking in general. If you think that we really need to have a committee to see the safety of the tracks, or you can speak.
Thank you. I'm Ricky from Denmark, and I'm an amateur rider. And I was joining the race in San Francisco. And before we went to the race, we were told that it was a very small track, so we should be able to ride on a small track. And I think that kind of information is good to give out before you send a rider. Also in Denmark and Sweden, we have some difficult tracks. Yeah. And maybe if we can just have that, you know, to say what is difficult with this track, to alert the rider before they come. Some of the tracks in Sweden are very narrow, and if you're 14...
Even in the track that we were in Sweden, the park, remember the park? Yeah. We're not allowed to have apprentice amateurs. They asked us, get professionals. Very clear. Because we didn't want to take any risk, because it's not a racetrack, it's put for a race to be done during the big day. And we made sure that every time it's a professional jockey riding there since we started there in Sweden.
Yeah. We are, Denmark is the first year we are actually joining.
Be there also.
Yeah. And our track is on grass, and it's a natural track, so that by that they are not allowed to do much about it. And it can be very difficult if you don't know the track. There can be some bumps in the track. And maybe just informing people about it would be a good idea when they come, that you have to sort of have a hold of your horse. And
for example, there may be cases where a track is perfectly suitable, but they may recommend only 8 starters versus 10. You know,
Yeah.
smaller field, depending on the quality of the riders, which is also a very sensible thing in some cases, because, you know, fewer horses will get in less trouble. But things like that, I think, would be good to have discussed in a small group. And again, it's not criticizing at all the emergency medical technicians, but these questions like this, a particular track where there's something to it that you need to pass along to the students who are riding there. So
yeah, just to alert people to say that this have this difficulty. And
I think what we can do is that Sarah, before we send invitations to the schools or to the apprentices, we will give them that we are in this racetrack, then they can choose and look at what is the of and points of every racetrack in where we're going, and then it will be easier for you to tell the students, or the trainers can tell their apprentices what is the racetrack of. But we make sure as a Sheikh Mansour festival to send our students before to the track and see. We don't send them directly to the track. They have to walk with Kai the racetrack. They are not allowed in any race we do in the world, even ladies, apprentices or professionals, they have to walk the course. Whether they like it or they don't, they have to walk the course, even if they are professionals. So this is more than safety for them to know what is the racetrack about. But if I don't think we need a safety committee, because we are not here, we do not have influence on racetracks. But what we can do is better to give information through Sarah when we have a race. She will send the infos about the norms and rules of this track and how it is, the specifications we do, which I will supply her with or whatever. And then she can go ahead and do the race. Pat can speak also.
Yes, very interesting, all of this safety on tracks, and I've ridden on many tracks for the past 60 years. And unless you do walk the track, you shouldn't be a jockey really. You should know the circumstances, the ups and downs, the ins and outs and everything. But however, I understood the start of this conversation was the aftercare attention. Kai, this is your area. She was released from hospital. She probably wasn't in a good condition enough to be released. Now I'm saying, I've seen in my own lifetime as a jockey, jockeys falling on the ground, and this was before the day of trained paramedics and ambulance attendances. A jockey would fall on the ground, he would be grabbed by perhaps one of the onlookers and pulled. Now that jockey may well have had a broken back, a dislocated pelvis, or in fact I am aware of one jockey, IFHRA, who fell at the chair fence in Liverpool in about 1965, and he was dragged. I saw him being dragged by one of the attendants, and the damage suffered. It was a broken back, and he was manhandled. And because of his situation, the Injured Jockeys Fund of United Kingdom was formed. I think Sarah would agree on that, yeah? But my idea, what's his word? Nothing. But I would suggest that we have some sort of an influence on the care and attention of a rider when he hits the ground, however he hits the ground. Horses rear up in the paddock, you can come over on top of the jockey. The jockey may well have a broken leg or back or, God forbid, neck even, you know. But that's the attention that we want to be really concentrating on. And I think, Kai, you would agree on that, I think, would you not? That when a jockey has a fall, that he is taken care of. It's not the reason he had the fall. That's neither here nor there. A jockey knows he can have a fall, but it could be in the parade ring before the race. It could be on the way to the start. The horse could run away with him. Anything. In the starting gate, even he might not have even started the race when he could have an accident, you know. And I think that's the area that we want to try and concentrate on, to make sure that the care and attention is available.
But the care and attention, Pat, in Brazil was there. It was not a normal racetrack. It's a good racetrack.
No, I'm not disputing that, Laura.
No,
I'm saying is that the discussion 5 here is about the safety procedures at racetracks.
Yes.
That's what I'm
I think
discussing.
as a practical purpose, working initially with Sarah, you wanted to say something?
Could I suggest that we might have a doctor on our committee?
No.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We really need to be very attentive that it's very important, guys, to believe where we're going. If you do not want to send your child to the school, they let them sit in stay wherever they are. There are some jockeys that are very keen, and they will, even if you talk to them till tomorrow, they will not answer you. So taking a doctor over there just to say because it's safety and apprentice, I don't think so.
Let me offer a suggestion to move forward. Before forming a committee, I'll work directly with Sarah, and I can find information about all these racetracks easily. Through my years in racetrack management, I can contact people and prepare a profile that you can send out with the invitations so everybody knows where the racetrack is, what the EMTs, how many ambulances they have there, what the nearest hospital is. So we have a list, a pro forma list of a profile of each track so that everybody has that information available. That's it, just a database of information, and that way people can make their decisions and know what we're doing. That's something I can do very easily working with Sarah, and then as a step forward, then we go from there and see how that works.
Anyway, there's no new racetracks going on. All the racetracks, you know. One racetrack which is new is Turkey. So I think maybe Turkey can talk about the racetrack now, because this is the only racetrack which is new. You can talk?
Sure.
I'm Kisan from Korea. I'm working for the Korea Jockeys Association. And when I bring my jockeys to the other countries, they are asking a lot of things like what is the track look like anti-clockwise or clockwise? What is the turf or dirt? What is the track look like? They ask a lot of information, but finally there is good question for the jockeys because they want to check out the equipment and everything so with according to the racetrack. So I do suggest people the jockeys sent to the other countries, that is what kind of tracks, like sand or dirt or turf, or it was running by anti-clockwise or clockwise, because most of countries, they are used to riding a horse like anti-clockwise, but sometimes they go to the track like anti-clockwise. It was very opposite to handle the horse and the equipment. So this kind of free information will be very nice. And also, when they arrive at the tracks, they need to just walking and checking the track condition, give them some few minutes, 5 or 10 minutes before the race, 30 minutes before, and just walk and check the track condition, and they see the what is the fence.
And see the track.
Yeah, see the track. There is the conditioning. That be help the jockeys get to know how to.
So for
prepare.
Thai, there's a new mission.
Yeah.
Any race we have in the world for the apprentice jockeys,
That's
they
my
will have
suggestion.
to go and see the track.
Thank
And
you
now
much.
I have a new job for you. The new job is also the ladies. You will be responsible also of the ladies officially. From Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed, he gives you this commission to do. Okay? So you will be responsible of both ladies, professional, apprentice, and the amateurs. You will be always in the races with us, and you will be coaching them. So we do not have any one time of they only have to go and see the track one day before. Once they arrive, they will go see the track, and they can walk the course afterwards, whatever is needed to be done. But you are officially assigned by Sheikh Mansour and the Festival of Sheikh Mansour to do this for us. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this difficult topic?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Here.
Oh, yes.
Well, we are from Argentina. This is Mr. Héctor Libre, our jockey school director, and I'm Juan Sucheki. I work with him. He would like to say some words about the accident we were talking about.
Un saludo para todos.
Hello, everyone.
Voy a opinar desde mi lugar de jockey. Siempre, yo he corrido 30 años.
I will speak as a jockey I am. I rode for 30 years.
Y creo conocer bastante de accidentes porque he recorrido muchísimos lugares compitiendo. Conozco San Pablo, conozco la pista que estuvo el accidente y además lo vi.
I think I know something about racing. I rode in so many courses around the world. I've been to San Pablo riding and visiting it.
Y acá además hay varios ex-jockeys, saben todos nosotros a lo que nos exponemos cuando salimos a correr un caballo. El riesgo siempre es grande. Los jockeys saben muy bien si una cancha está o no en condiciones, simplemente con dar una vuelta caminando. Cosa que se le enseña, creo que en todas las escuelas del mundo, a los futuros jockeys profesionales. Pero después los jockeys son alzados a una ambulancia y terminan en un instituto, y ya los hipódromos y los que han organizado la carrera nada tienen que ver en el asunto. No, perdón.
Most of us have been riding for years, and we all know what jockeys are, what risks they have while riding. They are taught to walk each course where they ride, and once they fall, each race course or each school has nothing to do. They are taken to an institute or to a hospital. It's not any race course responsibility.
No one can take responsibility
I think,
for these issues.
yeah, I think just to kind of kind of recap a little bit about what we're going to go towards here is that we completely understand that there's an assumption of risk. As a rider myself, I've walked courses and it didn't matter because when the race develops, it develops and you don't know what's going to happen. So when the starting gate opens, you know, as we all know, anything can happen. Yeah. So what we can focus on, though, is moving forward is good information is always helpful. So I'll work with Kai and Sarah on working with the schools to get better profiles on each track. So left-hand turn, right-hand turn, dirt, you know, all those important little pieces of information that we all want, what the EMT services are and all that, and we'll put that on so everybody has access to that. Fair enough? Does everybody agree? Yeah.
I want to say that, in my opinion, checking the tracks we send our boys and girls, we must be sure about the rail, because in some racetracks we don't have the rail for all the tracks, but we have dividing rail in some part of the tracks, and it should be dangerous.
But we're not going to tracks they don't have rail. Our races, I'm not talking about other races. Only in your case.
Right, and in some cases you have older tracks.
USA.
Yeah,
but can I just say, Laura, can I just say, I think what we need though is, as Remy says, it would be a very good idea if we had that information, because it isn't easy to find. Without mentioning names, you know, that we have sent children to various race courses around the world, and it is impossible to find out how many ambulances they have, what type of running rail they have, what surface is run on if it rains and it's changed from dirt to turf. We don't have that information. We are sending these children blind, effectively. And if Remy and Sarah and Kai or whoever can give us that information in a pro form or a template, a racetrack profile, then we can make the decision as to whether or not we feel it is safe to send those children.
Or a particular kid might not have the experience.
Exactly.
And pick another one that has more experience. Yeah.
So.
Anyway, Grant, I'm with you 100%, but I don't think any racetrack we're doing in the world, our races, is not safe. All are the same tracks that they have ridden for 7 years now, and they've been riding all the time. Sandown is the new racetrack of the jockeys, and they already had a good experience, and now Sandown is the racetrack in UK that will be for Sheikh Zayed, Sheikh Fatma, both apprentice and, like for example, in the UK. For Turkey, we are dealing with Turkey, but I'm sure they have a good racetrack because they have lots of races there. The only place we don't know about the racetrack is Turkey, because it's a new country which we are introducing next year for Sheikh Mansour Festival, for the apprentice championship.
But again, we're not saying tracks, we're not deciding whether a track is safe or not safe. We're just saying more information.
Yes, this is what we will do. Have sent the informations and make sure the student knows well. And I'm sure Kai would know more about the racetrack because he will be with us all the time. And wherever we go in the world, you have nice travelings to go with us and have lots of experience with even professionals who don't want to listen to anyone because they think they are professionals, but sometimes the professionals also needs to get advices so that they know what's happening in the track. We had a serious, an incident in Sweden when we had a Canadian jockey. I don't know if Teresa knows about it. Remember, there's a Canadian jockey. You know, they have hits on the horse, and when it's a professional, they need to pay a fine. And when it comes to a fine, they get crazy, the girls. I don't know why we did it, but it is a rule which we have to tell the girls before they travel. That's the rule of the country. Watch out, because you might pay a fine. So we end up paying the fine so that the girl do not pay a fine because she was out of her nerves when she knew that she wanted to pay the fine. So it happens also to professional jockeys, not only us, to apprentices. But what we can also do is just to tell the race to whoever, after selecting the jockeys, we inform them, Sarah, about this is the rule of every country, and you've been doing to do together as a strong team like what we're doing between Sarah, Kai and ourselves as Sheikh Mansour Festival, and definitely Pat Buckley and Marshall. We are making sure that whenever we go, this is safety not only for them, safety for us too, because we do not want to see them falling down. But it happens anywhere. When we had a race in United States, in in California, we were banned from one racetrack. They didn't want anymore the ladies' race because 3 girls fell down. And I don't know, one was hitting the other, and I just don't know what is happening. And these are amateurs girls. So it happens. And these are girls that won 70, 80 races. Sija Storen and other girls, Sija from Sweden, and other girls that are very, having lots of wins in their lives. They fell one after the other. So it was nothing with the track. It was girls that are not paying attention. Just they want to win. That's it.
Any more discussion? Yes, Anna.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anna from Puerto Rico. I just want to say a short comment about that. Is that I think every school should be responsible of talking with the students before. You have the internet, you have that amazing tool. You are doing a huge job, an amazing job, and I know it's a lot. So I think that we as schools can help trying to talk with the students. Just search the web, look for the racetrack. That's what we do with our students.
Yes.
And we look for the racetrack, and there's YouTube, there's the pages, as Lara said, the web page of every racetrack, and you can see and talk to them, and you can read a lot. And they also have the maps of the racetrack and the conditions and everything. So I think in that way we can help, but anyway, it will be good to have some data, general data about the racetrack. So we can help in that way, and that will be, you know, if everybody stays with the students, that can help a lot too.
You know, we should be very amazed with Puerto Rico. I remember him, he doesn't speak any words, no English, no Arabic, no French, no any language except his language. And he was on his mobile, YouTubing, and you know, he was talking with his mobile. He was talking with his mobile and searching the places, and he was never lost. Was it correct, Kai? And he's super good, and a clap for Puerto Rico for that, because this is an example to how it should be.
Thank you. And Lara, you know that we tell him to load down that application so he can translate everything.
Yes,
so
yes, he was doing.
That's exactly.
And the best part is he wanted to buy some stuff from after the race. I think you know, Kai. And the guys came and they speak Spanish. So they came to sell him, near the hotel, and they were bringing him some whips and I don't know what. And they were just like, talking on the phone. Just he's looking, and we wanted to see where he is, and we him. He's always with Kai on the internet, talking.
Be considered, so then the people, when you get into that situation, who needs to be contacted and could consider it outside of when that actually happens.
Okay. The more information, the better, I would say, and we can compile it. Working. I'll be
General. One. Where is Gerard? Habibian? Okay, can someone call him? Because he knows better the statute. Okay, so you are in. Is his finger? What is the date at the top?
I think it's the 7th, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so the week of the 7th. 7 February. No, I don't think it's 7 February. It's in Love, Valentine's Day. Every year we invite you with your wives. We invite you with your partner, not alone. For Valentine's Day.
So it would be...
No, for the other, another meeting. Our second meeting will be in February.
Oh, okay. So
like last year.
It's a board meeting.
Yes, it's a board meeting. We will come, and I have a new member that will also join us, but they couldn't come on time, is Bahrain. They are very much interested to join IFHRA, and Sheikh Nasser have supported us very clearly, and we thank Bahrain for the support. And I don't know here in your agenda is not written, but I think Switzerland also sent you the
that would be under new business.
New business, okay. So we go into new business.
Okay, so just to recap, we have our next board meeting.
The board meeting is here.
It'd be in February.
In February in one hotel, Anantara.
Okay. I'll advise you the date, definitely.
Yes, but what we'll make sure is we'll bring them on Valentine's, because all the guests of Sheikh Mansour are coming with many riders from the world, even if it's an endurance race, but we want you to integrate with the passion of horses. We're seeing the best endurance race ever is the UAE President Cup, which is the biggest race of the United Arab Emirates.
Any further discussion or questions? Okay. So we'll, as we develop the detailed schedule, we'll circulate and communicate that to everybody for the following year, 2016. Moving on to new or old business, as a piece of new business, we've received an application that's been filled out and signed by Switzerland.
Yes, and you have Russia that they will sign also, yes, the membership.
And so from Switzerland we have Rolf Schmidt, who's sending an application. We have an application from Russia.
From Russia, Maria, can you speak? Yeah. Yes, speak and you can translate, please. Let him speak and then you can translate.
Господа, во-первых, от имени России хочу приветствовать вас на этом прекрасном конференции.
Yeah, you switch off.
First of all, I would like to welcome and I would like to send the very warmest greetings from Russia, and we're very pleased to be here now.
И заверить, что конники России обязательно в дальнейшем будут участвовать во всех мероприятиях, которые связывают нас вместе.
And certainly I would like to confirm that all Russians that involved into the horse breeding industry and the horse racing industry will very pleased to be here and to be a part of this great event.
So that being said, we have 2 applications per our bylaws, our statutes. We have to vote on new applicants. So we have on the table an application from Switzerland and from Russia.
Yeah.
And so do I have a motion to approve those 2 countries?
Yes.
Okay, well, Gary Watterson beat you in the finish line. So
Okay.
So
Come on,
Gary
Lara
moves,
and Gary.
and Lara seconded. Any discussion for these 2 new applicants? If not, let's have a vote. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, welcome to International Federation of Horse Racing Academies.
Thank
Спасибо.
you. I just need to tell the press. Russia, Switzerland entered the IFHRA. So now we can say that we have lots of countries involved. Especially you were trying with, now we have Ecuador, we have Chile, we have, which country? Ecuador, no? And Chile and Peru. The 3 countries are very much interested. I received some mails to enter IFHRA. So this is also a welcoming thing to them. Yes, of course, Argentina is there from before, not from now. Uruguay? Okay, we'll have you Argentina next time. Don't worry, I promise. They are here also from Uruguay. So, okay, they are 3rd country. Why you didn't tell them?
Excuse me.
Uruguay? Yes, it's a country.
We are representing Uruguay.
But he didn't mention it.
We are from Argentina, but we are representing Uruguay.
Right.
Okay, so you are from Argentina, but I think Argentina was already from gay.
Yeah, they're there.
Who's Argentina? You Argentina.
They are Argentina, and they're representing Uruguay.
We took our representation letter from Uruguay.
Yes.
We here.
You have it?
We have our representation letter from Uruguay.
Okay. So we say who is for Uruguay to join IFHRA? In favor.
Right.
No, we
we are in
vote.
representation of
Yes,
them.
but we need to vote for you to be members of IFHRA. So who's in favor for this? Come on.
Well, the same motion stands. I think we can. The motion was made by Gary and seconded by Lara. In addition, with an amended motion that would have Russia, Switzerland, and Uruguay to be accepted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Of course not. Welcome. And now there is a new job for Baharti. Baharti, now you are the personal assistant of the best Secretary General of IFHRA. Because he needs your help, you need to take every single email of every single person and make sure anything that rotates, you assist him, you take whatever Remy wants, and then you assist it to everybody. So no one has excuse like any other country. For example, they don't know, like Portugal, Oman. They are here somewhere, but we don't know where they are. So that they can attend the meetings and know what's happening, and all the rotations happens clearly. Okay? Thank you.
You might regret this, but welcome. I think one final piece of new business, one area I would like to have some help is in the area of technology with our, as far as our communications website, things like that. There's so much going on that I can really use some help, so I'd love to have either a suggestion for a technology committee where anybody who would be willing to volunteer, who loves working on website or internet.
Yeah, we'll have him in the committee.
Okay, so what we can do based on our statute is that Lara can actually name a committee.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a vote. I just want to go out on the record and say anybody who's got experience with website, information and things like that, please step up and help out. We really need more help with this federation. And so come to see me after the meeting if you're interested, and we'll coordinate a technology committee to help us out, because that's an area where we can really use some help.
Because we need Shahad also on the committee, because Shahad has been doing the website.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think we need just more help in helping getting information to them to load onto the website. I can't do it all, so anybody who can help with sending, pasting articles, information. Now we need content on this website. We've got the basic foundation, and that's where you all can help out. Otherwise, I won't make it.
No, everything needs two hands to clap, guys. We are all one team. We want things to happen, so we'll use the two hands, the hands of every single one of you. Okay?
That's it. That's all I have.
Thank you. We will have fun tonight. Come to the press conference at 6 p.m. This is the conference for the world's biggest day in the world for pure Arabians, as well as the 2 World Championships, which we are proud of to have kids from all over the world competing. We were looking forward to see you every night, and every single, the ladies and the men needs to be very nicely prepared for the big parties that is taking place. Tomorrow at night there will be a very nice fashion show, beautifully done only for the festival of Sheikh Mansour, around the pool of Anantara, and definitely Ritz-Carlton. And Ritz-Carlton will be the 7th. I need to tell you one thing. On the Friday afternoon, after lunch, we have the conference. After the lunch, in National Archive, when we come back here for the lunch, we will be going, all of us, to visit the Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan, Sheikh Zayed Heritage Village. And this is where we will have a very official picture with the stand of Sheikh Mansour Festival, with One World, 6 Continents, Abu Dhabi, the capital that represents all of you, not only us, it's all of you, every single country. And it talks about the story of the apprentices and the ladies and the champions of the world. And then we will have an official picture with Sheikh Zayed picture, official at Al-Wasba. We will have it over there, and it will be spread in 365 medias in the world, talking about the guests of the world. 600 guests arrived to Abu Dhabi, and we're very proud, and thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys, you can go for lunch. Oh, Bassam, you can start preparing yourself for the press conference.